In 2012, I started a software business with 3 other people, and I ran that business for close to 7 years as founder, CEO, and CTO at various points in the journey. My story has 3 parts. The first part is really about discovering programming and falling in love with it. I was very lucky in school to come across a teacher that was really passionate about programming, about computer science. And I was 14 or 15 when she became my teacher, the teacher of my class. And within a very short period of time, I was taking part in competitive programming. And I did competitive programming throughout my high school for 4 years. I really enjoyed it. I competed at local, but also national level, and I really enjoyed it. It was under the guidance of the very same teacher that I started doing software development in Romania, my home country. At that time, there were software development competitions for educational software. So as part of a team with some of my classmates, we entered these software development competitions and we had a great time. I had a really positive experience with software development as a result of it. So this part, my high school experience, is when my love for programming really developed. The second part of my story is starting in university. When I joined university, I studied computer science in the University of Warwick, a good university in the United Kingdom. My plan initially was to study my best and attempt to get a job with one of the big companies, Google, Microsoft, etc. That was my initial plan. I started reading Hacker News, the news portal from Y Combinator, which kind of opened my mind a little bit. But it wasn't until I did a student exchange in Hong Kong for 1 year between my second and third year of university. I basically took it as a gap year, but studying. I know it's a bit odd, but it was in a sense a studying gap year, if you want. But that was great because the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, where I went, was really strong in both computer science and business. And because I took it as a gap year, I was not particularly interested in the grades I would get, provided that I would pass my courses, which I was planning to. But it gave me a great flexibility. And I chose half of my courses, like hardcore computer science courses that my university wasn't quite offering at an undergraduate level, in artificial intelligence, natural language processing, data mining, search engines, some really cool hardcore computer science stuff. But I chose the other half, business courses. I chose 2 entrepreneurship module, a negotiations course, and the marketing course. And it is these courses that opened my mind to the idea that maybe I don't have to work for Google. Maybe once I graduate, I could start my own business, or I could work in a startup to experience that startup world. So this is the second part of my journey, just opening myself up from a technical person, purely technical, to maybe I can start a business. The last part of my story of how I became a startup founder starts from the moment I graduated. I topped my computer science degree at the University of Warwick, and in that summer I was trying to decide what to do next. Eventually, I said to myself that the big jobs, the Googles, the Microsofts, were still going to be there for me in a few years' time. So I could give the startup thing a go, just try it. But at that point, despite the business-related courses that I took in Hong Kong, I was still very much a technical person. I wasn't very comfortable with the business aspects of starting a business. So I thought that the best thing for me to do would be to join a startup. as a software developer, see from the inside what it is, how it is to start a business. Learn from that experience. So that's what I did. I applied for a few startups. I even got some interviews. But at the same time, I found another offer which was very interesting. It was a business incubator based in Wales. And the deal there was that they would put you through this entrepreneurship program for 1 to 2 years. They would team you up with 3 other people, so a team of 4, and together you would look at various projects, try to figure out if any of those projects have any business potential. And in the incubator, they would upskill you at the same time into both technical and business aspects of starting a company. So that was very interesting. The other sort of appealing thing was that during this program, they would pay you a salary. And that was very important for me because I didn't have any savings. I was freshly out of university with debt rather than actually having any savings actually. So the fact that I could actually earn a living while learning how to start a business was very appealing. The downside was that in order to go through this program, the potential business that you would start, you would have to give away equity. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the equity structure, but it's just worth saying that I did have to give quite a significant equity in exchange for taking part in the program. My thinking, however, was that what I needed at that point in time was learning how to start a business, learning from the inside. So the deal made sense to me. And basically, I joined the startup incubator. And this is where I met my co-founders. And together we looked at various ideas. We ended up settling on one, which funnily enough was an educational application. So coming back a bit to my roots of doing educational application development, and started that business, run it for close to 7 years, and it's been a positive experience. I've now moved on from that role. The business is still going. It has been continued by one of my colleagues, my co-founders, but I've decided to move on and do something else. Maybe I'll speak about some of those reasons in a different video. Very quick recap. My story has 3 parts. I fell in love with programming at the age of 14. In university, I realized that maybe I don't have to work for one of these big companies. I could start my own business. And it wasn't really until I joined this business incubator that I entered this world of starting a business. If you found this video any useful, drop a comment, subscribe, or give it a like. Thank you very much, and see you guys in the next one.